So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. Hey everyone, welcome back to the 20-Hour Ukulele Challenge. This is the last song I'm teaching in the beginner song series. It is 5 Chords in a Cloud of Dust. It is Wake Me Up. I guess it's a collaboration of Aloe Blacc and Avicii. At least the famous version that I'm really aware of is kind of those two guys together. So yeah, here we go. Let's do it. So I'm changing the key of the song slightly because it plays really easily in A minor, and it actually even sings a little easier. I like where it sings a little bit better, just a teeny bit lower. So we are, the chords are pretty common ukulele chords. We can use A minor, 2nd fret of our 4th string there. Add the index finger to make an F chord. So we have 2nd fret of the 4th string, 1st fret of the 3rd string. Next is C. Use the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Kind of keep these fingers handy. So here's a tricky thing right here. You can just play G here if you want to. Play G this way and go right back. I'm going to teach you how to play G a very specific way. If you want to just play, if you know how to play a G chord, you have a way you want to play it, go for it. I'm going to teach a very specific way of doing it because there's a transition in this song where you go G to E7 to A minor, which is really fun, and it really kind of makes the song a little more unique, but it's really, really tricky because it goes so fast. So I'm going to teach a very specific fingering that helps you get through it a little quicker. If you want to just play G and be done, go for it. If you are wanting some guidance on how to do this super fast transition, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to start on our C. We're on the ring finger, 3rd fret of the 1st string. We're going to slide that back a fret. Boop. So I'm going to go from here to here. Kind of have a C major 7 now. Now we're going to use our pinky on the 3rd fret of the next string, of the 2nd string, and the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. It's kind of a funky fingering for G, but you're going to see it serves our purposes really well. So take a look real close. We have ring there, pinky there, middle there. Take a second, see if you can get all 4 of those notes to ring. Now remember, nice high arches. If you need to, really sort of just let the arm come forward just a teeny bit and let the fingers really curl over. If you have to, let them curl forward kind of on their nose almost. It will really help make this chord easier to play and get the strings clear of each other. That's what I recommend. So take a second, make sure you got this kind of awkward fingering of G down. And then what you're going to see is this fingering of G is going to let you get to E7 super easily. You just pick the pinky up and you're going to put the index down on the 1st fret of your 4th string. So once you've kind of found that, this being your E7, try toggling between this G and your E7. Take a second. I'm going to pause and let you just take a little bit of time right now and figure that out. And then start the video again when you think you can transition between them. Okay, so the reason we do this is because we have to do a quick change between G, E7, back to A minor. We got to go through these 3 chords kind of quickly, so we want a good fingering for that. And if you kind of shuffle around to this G right here, you got to shuffle all your fingers around to get to E7. And A minor, getting back to A minor is not too bad, but getting from that G to that E7 is kind of hard, especially when you have to go super fast. So let's brush through this whole chord progression and see if we can keep all that together. So A minor's first, 2, 3 to F, 2, 3 to C. Slide back the ring finger for the G. G to E7, A minor, 1, 2, 3 to F, 5, 6, 7 to C, 1, 2, 3 to G, G, E7, A minor. So this is another part. Repeat that as many times as you need to until it feels solid and you get a good transition that stays on time and you hear all the notes really clearly for every chord. I'm just going to give you a chance to pause, work on that, and come back when you're ready to go further. Cool. Awesome. So now the pattern we strum in this song, we do kind of use the riptide pattern. We go down, down, skip, up, down, up. The counts for that are 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to play that a couple of times ultra slow if you haven't done it before. And what you can use the YouTube app to speed it up and practice getting it a little quicker. So here we go. Ultra slow. 1, 2, 1, and 2, and here we go. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, skip, up, down, down. All right, so I played that on an A minor chord, so you could play it on mutes or open strings or whatever you want to do. So now the tempo of this is actually down, down, skip, up, down, skip, down, skip, up, down. It's really, really quick. It's really, really blazes. And what happens is when you go from the G to the E7 to the A minor, you have to change the pattern because that whole pattern, well, you don't have to, but it accents the chord changes a little better if you do. So you go from the C, you go down, down, skip, up, down, up. On the G, you go down, down, up. On the E7, you also go down, down, up, and you're back into the pattern. So for the G and the E, both just go down, down, up, down, down, up, and it's all continuous. So it's down, down, up, down, down, up, down. That's for the transition. So let's practice that transition a few times. We'll do a pattern on the C, we'll do the transition, and we'll whack the A minor to end. So ready, 1 and 2, and here we go. Done, and 2, and 3, and 4, and down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Here we go. We'll do it one more time. Down, down, skip, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. There you go. So that right there is your transition. Now, what you want to do is you want to use the YouTube app and just keep trying to speed it up as fast as you can. And you can always use other patterns or simpler patterns if you want to, but if you want to try to play it the way they play it at speed, honestly, this is the last song that I teach usually. It's a very tricky song to do at speed. So if you haven't done any of the other songs in this series, I highly recommend them because they'll all help you build up to this. They'll help your chord transitions. They'll help your strumming. You use this pattern in Riptide, and use a very similar pattern in Little Talks, and you'll use this pattern in House of Gold. It's like there's a lot of other songs that use this pattern that are also really quick. And if you learn all of these songs, everyone will make every other song faster. So what I often do is I try to take this cluster of really quick songs at the end and all do them as a bunch. And then once you've done them all, usually you're fast enough to do, well, all of them. But when you try to do the first one, it's just too hard because it's too quick. All right, so I'm going to demo the whole thing. And what you're going to see is that sometimes I'm just going to use open strokes, just kind of give myself a little bit of time, or to kind of open the space up. And sometimes I'm not going to do the quick transition. I kind of do it at will. Like they do it on the intro, but during the verses of the song, they don't do it. So you kind of get to ad-lib when you use it in there. So you're going to see, I'm going to take some liberties and yeah, just do what I want. But, all right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I There you go. Sick party. So, hope you enjoyed that. Hope if you haven't tried the 20-hour ukulele challenge, you try it because it's awesome. And yeah, hope to see you in another lesson soon. Thanks for hanging. Bye-bye.